All praise is due to Allah, who has united the hearts of the believer in Islam and has made it an obligation to remain united, and has made it forbidden to become separated in his clear book. I bear witness that there is nothing worthy of worship except Allah, who guides to the straight path whom he wills, and I bear witness that our leader Muhammad is his messenger and the best caller to the way that is straight. O Allah, send your prayers and your peace upon our leader Muhammad and upon his family and upon his companions, whose hearts were united and whose souls were educated, so that they became victorious leaders. And what follows thereafter, O believers of Allah, I advise you as well as I advise myself, to first have the proper regard for Allah and thereafter be obedient to him. Dear believers, I greet you with the universal greetings of peace. Assalamu alaikum, which means peace be with you. This week we look at the attribute of Ad-Dārr, Ad-Dārr, which means the distressor, or some even say the balancer. And when we look at this word or attribute as the distressor, it's to give us context. It's to help us be able to process. It's to help us to be able to understand what is going on in our life and what is going on in the life of others. And so this idea of Allah being the distressor, the one who not only causes distress, but allows distress to happen, because it is his will, this situation, this incident, or whatever it may be that's taking place, is Allah's will, is the will of Allah. And we know with Allah, things don't just happen for no reason, that they're not just things that we would consider bad or things that are problematic to us that happen for no reason. Allah is not doing it out of spite. There is some type of benefit or reward, or there's something later on down the line that will be or should be available for the person that is going through this distress. And we can see this if we just think of maybe the taste of sour milk. If the taste of sour milk, if the taste of rotten milk or spoiled milk still tasted like other milk, we'd probably still drink it. We'd probably still ingest it. And it would cause great harm to us. It would cause us to get sick. It would cause us to have stomach aches and go through different changes. But Allah allowed for this taste to be bad, allowed for this taste to be such that you would not want to continue to engage in it. We see this also in just society. If we think about if we're speeding through a school zone and we get pulled over and we get a ticket, there's this negative thing that happened to us because of a choice that we made. But by getting that ticket, we're deterred maybe from doing that again and possibly harming a child. But now this child that we may have hit can grow up and lead a successful and productive life. So here we see that there may be these things that cause distress, but there's a reason for it. There is something behind it. And in other times what we see that that Allah is doing when he causes distress on a people or distress on a person, is that it's testing them. It's testing their faith. It's testing, do they still have faith in their Creator? Like they can see this negative thing. And so if you understand that Allah is the distressor and you see the negative thing happening and you know it's the will of Allah, and you're like, well, okay, well, Allah is doing this, then I also have to understand that good can come from that. And that will be the will of Allah. So it makes me have faith that if I continue to turn to my Creator, if I continue to pray to my Creator for change, pray to my Creator for help, pray to my Creator to get me out of this distressful situation. If I continue to pray to my Creator to do that and have faith, Allah will reward me. Now, sadly, for some, that reward may not come in this life. That reward may happen in the next. But it is the fact that we maintain our faith and we continuously turn to Ad-Dārr, the one who causes distress, the distressor, or the one also known as the balancer. أقول هذا استغفر لي ولكم Well, alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ala ali Muhammadin. Kama salata ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka Hamidum Majid. Allahumma barik ala Muhammadin wa ala ali Muhammadin. Kama barakta ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka Hamidum Majid. So we ask ourselves, or we think, why would some say that this term Ad-Dārr would equate it to the balance wheel? And so we think about this in the context of distress. And for some to truly understand love, they have to experience hate. And for some to truly understand, to appreciate what they have, sometimes they have to lose everything. And it is tough, because there is this stress on you. There is this pain that happens within you, because you have these attachments to these worldly things. Your identity becomes wrapped up in it. Your identity then grows into your ego, becomes wrapped up into it. All these things, these thoughts of yourself and what it could be and who you are in relation to this worldly thing becomes so ingrained into this. And when it's taken away, or when it's not the way that you envision it, it becomes distressing on you. It becomes heavy on you. And you may lose that thing. It may be taken away from you. And in some instances, the things that are taken away may be given back to you. And when you get it back, you hold on to it. You love it. You care for it. You guard it with everything you have. It's this balance. It's like the pendulum that swings in one direction to the next direction. On one side, here's this distress, and on the other side, here is this feeling of love and freedom and the ability to engage in the way that you like. Allah is Ad-Dārr. So this distressing feeling that we have sometimes, because we don't have something, because we can't keep something, because life just isn't the way that we want it to be. It's not a time for us to wallow either in that sadness or to get too angry about it. We're human. It's natural. It's understanding. It's understandable that sometimes that happens. But we have to then go back to our Creator and understand that He is the one who causes distress. He is the one that allows for this to happen. This same Creator who loves you. This same Creator who gave you life, who gave you the moments and the experiences that you have enjoyed. This same Creator is the one who did that. So yes, you may be distressed. You may be distressed for a little while. But when you have that opportunity to have that stress removed, you will enjoy it so much more. It'll be so much more valuable to you. You'll love it so much more. And so sometimes we have this distress. Sometimes we get taken to such a low point, and we know that we can't physically do anything. We can't change anything about our situation or the situation of others. That all we can do is turn to our Creator. All we can do is pray to Him. And sometimes, just as that sour tasting milk would keep you from drinking it so it wouldn't harm you, sometimes the distress that we experience is so that we turn back to our Creator, so that we turn back to our Lord, so that we turn back to Him and ask Him for help. All in the hopes that our condition changes, but also ultimately that we are counted amongst the believers on the last day. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار ربنا تقبل منا إنك السميع العليم. إن صلاتي ونسكي ومحياي ومماتي لله رب العالمين لا شريك له بذلك أمرت وأنا أول المسلمين والحمد لله رب العالمين آمين.